Hey YouTube, welcome back to Brothers on the Grid, where we're talking all things Formula One. Today, we're going to be talking about the upcoming race in Abu Dhabi, which we're super excited for because there's so many talking points. So let's get started. Sup,
Sup,
bro?
bro?
What's up, bro?
Hey, race in Abu Dhabi should be quite exciting. Last race of the season, so hoping for big things there. Finally, see who is going to win the constructor championship and who's going to come in second place in the racers championship and all that good stuff.
Yeah, seriously. That's actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about is look, is it flipped?
It looks normal to me.
Okay, good. You can read it?
Yeah, Red Bull
It's flipped on
Racing,
my end.
Honda.
So that's the exciting thing. So this is the constructors championship. This is like where everybody's at. If we look at like Mercedes and Ferrari, they're only 4 points away from each other. And then McLaren is not far behind either. So it's literally a race for second, third, and fourth, like who's gonna win it. So I
Wow.
honestly am super excited for this race because it's literally anybody's game for the constructors championship. And I've heard like different things of like, well, maybe you should try to take third. I mean, obviously, if you take higher, you get more money,
Mm-hmm.
like earn more money. But if you take lower, you get more time to like in like the wind tunnel and different things. And so I'm
Oh,
really interested to see like who's going to take second, who's going to take third, who's going to take fourth, and what's that going to mean for probably not next year, maybe a little bit, but then in 2025. Um, because that's kind of how it works. Is like they're already building their cars for 2024, and so
yeah.
2025 we'll see this play out. So
That's interesting that because I always knew that the higher that you placed, the more money that you got, but I didn't know like the people lower down got more time in the wind tunnel and stuff like that. That would
yeah,
make
that's an
sense. So that way they're not like just screwed over because they didn't get as much money.
yeah, and it's kind of like a new regulation when they came in with like the cap in cost as well. And so
Mm-hmm.
even though they get more money, they aren't able to spend it all on or they spend it all on Formula One, and they only have to make up so much extra money from sponsors or different things or however it works. And so each
Gotcha.
team is slightly different, but yeah, the lower down you are, the more like wind tunnel time you get, which is like I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about, unless you have something else.
No, I just have a stupid question I need to ask you sometime.
Oh, hit me.
Why? I don't even know how to phrase the question. Like, why
Yes.
do they put restrictions on building and stuff? Why isn't it just like an all out, however fast you can build a car, you can race a car?
Like why do they put a cap on like the cost cap?
Kind of, yeah, and like regulations on different things, like it kind of seems like it hurts innovation and stuff with some of the regulations that they put on the constructors and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the FIA changes the rules all the time. They change the rules from year to year in terms of like the size of like the vehicle and like everything like that. They change it in terms of oh, and then just like different rules and different like regulations from year to year, right? And so it
Yeah.
does kind of confusing of like why not? There it's kind of a there's two different camps that people fall into is one, let them do whatever they want, however much innovation they can have, however much like whatever they can have, like let them do it. That
Mm-hmm.
would make faster cars. It would be, like all of these different things. But the other side to that of why there are these regulations is like multifold. First is a lot of it is there for safety. Like you can't just have the heaviest car. You can't just have the fastest car. You can't have something that's unsafe. So they need to check to make sure like safety regulations are being met with like the car specs and everything.
Gotcha.
Second part of that is they're trying. I disagree. I don't think they're trying to do this, but they're trying to create better racing. So like
Okay.
closer and like people are, like battling back and forth. So like the bottom teams are spending the same amount as the top teams, essentially, right? So they have like the same chance to be first.
Gotcha.
While that's what they claim, I think there's so many examples even this year that shows that they don't care about the actual racing. They care about making money. And so they will argue that that's one of the reasons, but I would disagree with how they're currently going. I think that could change, but how they're currently going, they're not really interested in.
Okay.
And then like another part to that is, and I kind of mentioned it already, but they're really trying to make people innovate in the space around the rules, if that makes sense. So
Gotcha.
they're changing what the sizes of the cars can be and like everything, even for this like next upcoming year. And teams will find ways to break the rules, even though they were not breaking. They're just like an innovative way, and then they'll
Kind of
change
skirt the rules.
Yeah, and then they'll change the rules because they're like, oh, you actually can't do that, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we didn't know, like it wasn't in the rules, and then they'll change it, and then they'll find another way to like. And so it's like innovation within the sphere that they are. So it is limiting, but it's limiting to like an area that they can be in, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. This is the track, by the way.
Ooh. Lots of curves.
There are a lot of one kind of like high speed, fast, hard braking turns. Like you're going to be flying and then braking hard. So I think that's going to affect a lot of the drivers, because if they're not able to keep if they're burning through their tires, that's not going to be a good thing, which a lot of teams struggle with.
Yeah.
And then 2, getting back up to speed. And then like there are a couple of like really fast straights. And so it's kind of like a combination of everything. I'm really excited to see which teams will be able to handle it and which teams won't. Abu Dhabi is really hot, temperature wise. And so that's going to be like really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this race.
Big contrast to last week's race.
Big contrast from last week's race. But can we talk about last week's race really quickly before we even go into what we think is going to happen?
Yeah.
That was such a fun race. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
When Leclerc, when he like went through at the very last second, I was just freaking out. That was so
that
fun.
was amazing.
As a Ferrari fan, I bet you were just freaking out.
Oh yeah.
Almost got back overtaken, but he was quick enough.
But he held it out. He held him off.
That was such a good and daring overtake at that point too. Like,
yeah. Gosh. Oh, that was crazy.
And the safety car kind of like ruined his race as well, but he probably would have ended up in the same spot anyways, let's be honest. But I thought it was super exciting. Yeah.
No, that was exciting all over the place. There was lots of people like falling clear back in the pack and then fighting their way back up to the front, and just lots of excitement. Oh yeah.
A lot of people were like, oh, this isn't gonna be like a good circuit because there's like no like high speed turn, or there's no like I guess low speed turns. There's no like clear overtake. There was like a lot of things that people were worried about, and it was amazing. It didn't like fall into like any of those things. So I liked the race. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I had a lot of fun watching it. We're gonna be next year. Oh yeah, in person. Yep. Okay, should we do our ratings? Yeah, let's do our ratings. I think I'm gonna go first. Okay. If you're okay with that. I just feel like if I let you go first, then I will start overthinking my wonderful predictions. So I'm just gonna kiss it up, keep it simple, stupid, and go first so I don't do that. I love it. Oh man, this is a big race. I think starting off, overall, I think Mercedes is going to do really well. I think they are going to have a good race this time. They're going to take second in the constructors then?
Dude, I think they're going to take second in the constructors.
Whew.
So I think they're going to do really well with Ferrari and Red Bull right there. I know Max is going to do great. It's his last race for this season. He's just going to rock it like he normally does. But I don't know about
Perez.
yeah. I don't know how he's going to do. So I'm going to put them in A tier. I think overall Mercedes and Ferrari as a team are going to do better than Red Bull. So we're putting that out there. After that, McLaren. I think McLaren is going to be a solid B tier team this race. And they're going to be there with Alfa Romeo. I think those two going to have a decent race with each other. Yeah. Don't have much to
Alfa
say right there.
Romeo is going to do that well.
I think they are. I
Really?
think they're going to figure out how to not blow their tires, and I think they're going to do decent.
That honestly, that would be huge. That would be huge.
So there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
After that, we're going to have, you know what? I think Williams also going to be a B tier team this time. Yeah.
Sargent, our homeboy, is going to do well.
Yeah. I believe in Logan. He has some hope.
Yeah.
They've had some hard times, but you know, I see them doing pretty decent. Then we're gonna have Aston Martin and Haas as C tier teams, followed up by AlphaTauri and Alpine coming in last. So,
dude,
that's my predictions. Read them and weep, you know, all that good stuff.
Only. It sounded like that was vibes.
Totally not just vibes, totally researched.
So let me tell you what I actually think is going to happen.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, as I mentioned, this race is going to be very rough on tires because of the turns and also the heat. And let's talk about teams that have not done well with tire management so far this year.
Okay.
Mercedes.
Fair.
So I'm worried that they're really going to struggle. I also think that Williams and then Alfa Romeo are really going to struggle. Ferrari has a potential to struggle because of tire management. McLaren, I think, was struggling. I think they're getting better. Their tires do really good at warming up. And it seems like at least Lando is really good at maintaining his tires. So let me tell you how things are going to change because of that. One, Red Bull. I hate to do it. Like, I do not want to do this. I don't want to. I really hope I don't have to do this every single time next year. But I think Red Bull is going to be top team if we added up points.
Fair.
I think that so McLaren had a horrible race this past race. I felt so bad for them. I think they're going to come back swinging in this race, and I think that it's set up a lot better for their car. So I'm actually going to put them in S tier.
You don't think they're just going to fly off the track into the...
I sure hope not.
Again, into the wall again.
I sure hope not. I think that they're going to come back strong. And then we have Ferrari. It was so unfortunate. They're like how much hardness, like when they hit that thing, like in the middle of the road, they had to change out their...
Oh, the manhole cover?
Yeah, when the manhole cover, they got penalized for it. Like, I understand why it's there, but I was like, it's
still
not
sucked.
Yeah, like, I think if it's their fault, but then it's hard to like figure out. Like, if it's their fault, maybe it should be, and they're like the driver's fault or the team's fault. But this had nothing to do with them. But then I was like, then people try to argue every single time. So I'm gonna put Ferrari as number 3.
Okay, up in S tier.
Yep.
still.
And then I'm gonna drop Mercedes to A tier.
Ooh.
Now, are they gonna end up in second, third, or fourth in the Constructors' Championship? I'm not sure yet. I think that they could end up third, getting just enough points above McLaren to beat them out. Ferrari might beat them out though, because they've been doing so well recently. It's not the Ferrari of old, the Ferrari of the last couple of years. Like this is kind of like a
Yeah.
new Ferrari, so I think they're gonna do really well.
Nice.
I'm gonna put Aston Martin also at A tier. I think that
Oh,
sometimes they have problems with tire management. But I think that they've been doing really well recently. They aren't crashing. They're not like, getting out of the race. And I think that's actually really important, especially when it's coming to these high speed corners. Like, be able to think when stuff is going down.
yeah.
I think that's gonna be really important. I'm actually gonna keep. Um, okay, that's a lie. I'm gonna drop Alfa Romeo down to C tier. And I'm going to move AlphaTauri up to B tier.
Whoa.
And I actually, Alpine is gonna go up to B tier as well. And I
Wow.
think that this is just gonna be no, put them yeah, actually right there. Behind AlphaTauri, but in front of Williams. And I'm not gonna put any teams in D tier. Now let me tell you why. This is the last race of the
Whoa.
year. I think everybody is just gonna be like, either I'm gonna get out of the race, like I'm gonna crash because it's the last race of the year, or I'm gonna like give it my all and just like go out having a good time. And so I
I'm
think that
gonna
this is just
drive till I explode.
yes, drive to survive, more like
Yeah.
so, um, and so I think that this is going to be a good final race. I think that teams are going to do well, and I'm excited for it.
Nice. Yeah. Looks good to me. I mean, not as good as mine looked, but it looks pretty decent.
Hard to disagree, but okay. Yeah, so
Good
I'm
stuff.
really excited to watch this race. I don't know, I'm gonna be up all night watching it. It's gonna be a great time. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What time's it at our time?
I have no idea.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Up all night. Sounds good.
Doesn't matter what time. I'm gonna be up all night.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a good race, and I'm excited to see like which teams are going to do well. And that fight for second, third, fourth, and the constructors is going to be
Dude.
the talk of the weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
All the cool kids will be talking about it.
all of them.
Good stuff.
Okay. Well, sup, bro?
Sup, bro? Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Tell us that we're idiots. Tell us that we're smart. I don't know. Tell Todd that his
We
mustache
don't know
looks
anything.
amazing.
Everybody should comment. Mustache is amazing.
But yeah, guys have a good week. Bye.